Good morning, Samantha. How are you, love? I just saw you on Discord this morning. I think I saw a notification pop up this morning. I said Samantha up. Beautiful rising, y'all. Supreme rising. It's a beautiful Friday, y'all. A beautiful end to an amazing week. We're a little tired, but hey, we here, y'all. It's look, the energy has been so amazing. I had to take a nap, y'all, yesterday. Oh my God, right? And you know when you tired, but it's a good tired, then you know at least, right, whatever you're going through, it's been worth the fight. All right, beautiful rising, y'all. I hope y'all are having an amazing morning wherever you checking in from, y'all. We're gonna give everybody a little bit of time to join the live, y'all. Before we get into today's astrology. I'm beautiful. Let me read your comments, Samantha. So what we got, child? My granddad's birthday today. Oh, I love it. He would have been 102. I love it. Yeah, I love that, Samantha. You know, my grandmother is my main guide. She would have been, I think, 89. Her birthday would have been in January. So I love that. You know, I tell you, y'all, our ancestors that pass away, those are our leading spirit guides, right? Like sometimes you will never know. We were talking about that the other day too, y'all, where many the generations how grandparents are kind of, not a thing anymore, right? And how we are so appreciative, depending on either your family structure. Some of us had grandparents around. Like I grew up with my grandmother, my great grandmother. I even knew my great great grandfather. So like I have a long line, family line, because people live in my family took literally, like you say, 102, 94. Like my great grandmother was 94. Even with my grandmother passing, that would have been considered early because she was 84. And for our family, that's actually early because she has two sisters that's still living. One is like 91 or 92, I think. So I love that, right? Because many, people don't know their grandparents anymore, y'all. And that's when, matriarchy and patriarchy, there are some traditions that we do need, right? Like I tell you, everything is in balance. It's not okay not to have a matriarch, right? It's not okay not to have a patriarch in your family because that's the men and the women that really lay the structure and the foundation. And the thing is, right, because generational curse is not being broken, right? Now you getting families where kids don't even know their grandmas, right? Kids ain't never met grandparents and stuff because people are, leaving here at an earlier age, right? Disease and all of that stuff, high blood pressure, right? You got people never met their grandparents. And to me, I'm like, what? I grew up with my grandma. What? I grew up with my great grandma, right? In the kitchen making peanut butter cookies, right? So I feel like many of us are blessed, right? Many of us are blessed that we grew up with like grandmothers and grandfathers. And now, even though that they're gone, it's like we know who our spirit guides are. Whereas people who never meet their grandparents, never really get into ancestry, they have no idea who's leading them, which also means what? You don't know the voice of God, right? You don't know the voice of your ancestors. You don't know the voice of God because you never had that wisdom, right? My grandma and great grandma taught me the wisdom of God, literally, right? They didn't teach me that God was some scary monster that was going to carry you away if you didn't do right. Like, that's not how I was raised, right? I was raised that God is loving, God is kind, right? Yes, there is evil in this world, right? But it doesn't have to be in your world. And I feel like many people, they get so inundated with, right, the war of the world that they forget you ain't got to fight this war. Stop fighting, y'all. That's simple, right? If you want your life to be better, stop fighting, right? You don't have to fight a war. What are you defending, right? It takes me to like armies and shit, right? Like, what are you really defending? So you're going to sign this paper and you're going to go over here and you're going to go off to war. What are you defending, right? So that's the question that many of us have to ask ourselves every day, right? That's like declaring peace back over your life, right? Like that's you saying, I'm showing up every day in this world, right? I'm seeing 44. I'm showing up in this world every day, right? But what war am I really fighting, right? And if that war isn't for you, right? For you to be a better person, for you to excel in this world, stop fighting other people wars, y'all. That's all it is. Y'all, stop playing, y'all. I just looked up, I just pulled up the astrology while I'm talking to y'all. And the damn thing says what? The main event, restless hearts and craving freedom. Freedom, y'all. As a people, we craving freedom. Ain't nobody trying to be fighting wars that we did not create. Right? And as a collective, when you begin to understand some of the generational curses, some of the wars that you are fighting is something that you didn't even create, right? So why are you fighting something that you never created, right? War is in your mind. Say that, Mona, right? War is in your mind. So when you understand that, right, you understand that sometimes we fight in a war that people told us we should fight. Go fight for your family, child. Go fight for your job. Go fight for your be the best employee you can be, right? Go fight for that marriage even though that man don't want you, right? Go fight for your family even though you hate your mama them. Stop, y'all. The world will keep you at war, fighting a war that was never yours. That's a message for somebody. All right, y'all, let's get into your daily astrology. All right, today's major cosmic headline, y'all, is Lilith. Hello. Lilith in Sagittarius opposing Venus in Gemini. Now, if anyone isn't familiar with Lilith, all right, y'all need to go look Lilith up. Now, the story, because all of these are what? Stories, y'all. Everything is stories. I don't care if you want to call it folklore, folk tales. All of it is stories, just like the Bible. It's all stories, right? So Lilith, right, is the story of the one who opposed Eve, right? So some believe in Eve, which is out of the rib of Adam and all of that shit, right? Some believe in Lilith, which I believe is out of the dust, right? That this woman was created, right? But this woman was created equal to Adam, all right? You got to study to show thyself approved, right? Don't just be regurgitating shit and you don't understand, right? So with Lilith and Sagittarius, Lilith is that rebellious feminine energy, right? Everybody needs a little bit of Lilith, right? I tell you, everything is balanced. Everything ain't one-sided. Oh, I resonate with Eve. Well, I resonate with Lilith. It don't fucking matter. All of it is balance, right? It's the feminine energy that says, I was never taken out of a man's rib, right? But I was made out of the dust, right? So that I could be equal, right? So whatever version of the tale that you believe is up to you, right? Everybody has versions of stories, y'all. All of it is stories, right? You don't know what the hell is true. So you just resonate with whatever you resonate with, right? All right. So Lilith is in Sagittarius opposing Venus in Gemini. This is a spicy, restless energy, y'all. Lilith wants wild freedom and struggles with conventional rules, right? While Venus in Gemini makes us hyper aware, y'all, of all our options. That's for my divine feminine who you ready to be wild, you ready to be free, you ready to date, you ready to get out of the house, you ready to proclaim your energy. That's what this Lilith energy is doing, right? If you feel a sudden urge to rebel or shake things up in your life, blame it on the transit, child. Blame it on the energy, girl. Okay. All right, 3:27 a.m. the moon entered Aquarius. All right, so now the moon is in Aquarius. The emotional vibe shifts from heavy to intellectual. All right. We crave friendships, mental stimulation, and quirky connections. Anybody know an Aquarius, right? My cousin Bree is an Aquarius. That child would talk you, right? But she dives into stuff, right? So it's more analytical energy, right? That's what that Aquarius energy is, right? It's that mental stimulation, right? But quirky connections, all right? 10:22 a.m. moon sextile Neptune. All right, that's that dreamy energy, right? Where it's easier to accept people as they are without needing to define the relationships right now. That is where many of the divine feminine have to get to in order for you to receive the love that you desire. You got to stop trying to define everything. What are we? Who are we? What is the timing? When is it going to happen? Many divine feminine cannot be in relationship, right? Whether that's love relationship, your business, career, finance, because everybody wants that logical mind of what the box looks like. But you cannot put God in a box, y'all. So at the point you stop trying to put God in a box is when you allow God the freedom to work. So now, right, as you begin to understand that you can accept people as they are without needing to define the relationship right now. That is what gets divine feminine into union, right? That is what it is, right? You don't have to have some traditional conversation, right? Like I'm now remembering, right, when the king and I started dating, it wasn't no traditional conversation where we're gonna sit down and we're committed to one another and we're gonna be married and da da da. No, we say shit. We locked in. We locked in. That's it, y'all. We was like, you locked in. I'm locked in. Let's do it, right? That was it. Most people could not be in a relationship years later off of the strength that we just said what we locked in, right? Most people, you can't do that. You want to know if we get married, if we having babies, if we gonna are we committed, are we engaged? You need all of these titles, y'all, but God does not give you a title. God gives you a soul, and when soul recognizes soul, you don't need a title. And that's why many divine feminine, you end up chasing away the person that God gave you because you waiting on a title when God already validated who this person is to you. But you want the title so that you are sure that God validated it to them. But guess what? God validated it to them when they approached you. Stop playing. All right, 2:21 p.m., y'all. Moon conjunct Pluto. Things get intense, y'all. All right, casual vibes turn into a craving for deep, transformative connection. Watch out for power struggles, y'all. All right, let's get into the energy, y'all. So, for my singles, right, embrace the adventurous Venus Lilith energy, flirt and explore your options. Be careful of getting swept up in a karmic connection. Let me tell you, queens, all right, for my single kings and queens, usually you have just come out of, right, what? Either a karmic false twin flame dynamic or a narcissistic ex, right? Let's just talk about it. The next connection that you get in, you have to be sure it's not another lesson, y'all. So that's why I have a lot of y'all. I've been doing love readings all week and live one-on-ones, right? And there are many of the collective, at least 3 of y'all I talked to this week who has new love, right? Y'all got new love. But every advice I have said is this: what? Take that shit slow. Because when you divorcing, right? You coming out of a marriage, right? Or you just left somebody, the next person that come around may be another karmic. Because God wants to make sure you are paying attention to the red flags. You are now aware of the signs before you make another mistake, y'all. So you got to understand that just because you coming out of something don't mean that your very next person is your person. Usually it's not, y'all. Like usually there's a pattern, right? Usually you're going to meet the false twin flame first. That's the one where like everything resonated. You knew this person forever, college, high school, whatever. That's not your damn person, right? Then you're going to meet the narcissist, y'all. This person has addictions usually, right? They got some type of an addiction, some type of low vibrational shit. They could be in a third party, whatever, y'all. That's then you meet. Everything happens in threes, y'all, right? It does. That's just the world. You got to be able to study the world, y'all. 9 times out of 10, most experiences in life, right, takes place in threes, right? So if you are coming out of a marriage and you've already been past the false twin flame thing, then it is likely that the next person you meet is your person. But you got to take it slow, y'all, all right? So for my singles, don't get swept away in this energy of something new, right? Still keep that energy focused on you and pay attention to people. Pay attention, y'all. All right. Now, if you are a couple, right, don't let a fleeting moment of restlessness destroy what you have built. We in union, people who are married, partnerships, life partnerships, whatever, those who are in union, y'all, don't let these emotions and feelings tear down what you know you have built, y'all. See, unions, marriages, right? That's a foundation, y'all. You building this. Sometimes you will get restless. Sometimes you want things to move quicker and they aren't. But do not allow your restless energy literally to stop what it is that you're building. All right. So if you are a couple, right? Don't let a fleeting moment of restlessness destroy what you have built. If you're bored, inject spontaneous fun into your relationships, y'all, rather than looking outside of it. Many people destroy great relationships because you bored. But let me tell you, if you bored, then talk to your partner and say, love, right? I love you, but this shit boring me to tears. Be dead ass, y'all. If you can look at your spouse, your partner, and say, I love you, but this is boring me to tears, and we need to spice this shit up, and they cannot respect that, then move away from that shit, y'all. But don't make any decisions, right, without trying, right? Because I don't know no king or no queen that's gonna deny a little spice, right? Even if they working hard, even if they tired. I'm talking about it, y'all. My king works outside, right, in construction and the heat and landscaping and all of that shit, right? He be dead ass tired. He ain't gonna never deny the queen, right? So just spice that shit up a little bit. He can be tired, he'll wake up. Right? So a lot of times, y'all, you have to understand, as the divine feminine, you give over your control of your union, of your marriage, of your relationship, because you waiting on him to bring the spice. Girl, you bring the spice. That man tired. Stop playing. Right? That man tired, y'all. You got to bring the spice. Right? So if you are in a relationship, a marriage, and he tired, tell him, right? I'm bored. We got to spice this shit up. And then start stripping for his ass. All right, y'all. So let's get into the energy. Beautiful rising, y'all. Beautiful rising. I am the Lady Empath 1111, y'all. And this is your daily astrological updates. All right. I was supposed to be live on TikTok, y'all, at 9, but at the last minute, like 7 o'clock last night, I got invited to speak at an engagement here in Orlando this morning. So after this live, I actually have to get dressed and leave. All right. So we will not be live on TikTok this morning, but I think I'm gonna do an afternoon tea. All right, so I may go live this afternoon. Depending on when I get back, it will either be 2:22 or 3:33. All right, sometime this afternoon. All right, I still want to go live on TikTok, but we'll do an afternoon tea, y'all. All right, so we're gonna ride here, y'all, to 8:30, and then I gotta get out of here. I'll see y'all on TikTok this afternoon, and of course, we'll be on Discord, all right, for the after party. Thank you guys so much. Thank you. Y'all, God be blessing y'all. Like, Lord, I literally went to sleep, right? And woke up to a text message saying, hey, we had somebody cancel at this thing that we doing this morning, and we need somebody that can do that shit off the cuff. Now, y'all know I can do it off the cuff. Right? I don't need to prepare. I say, y'all be there. What I need to do. All right, so I gotta speak at this. It's actually a realtors mastermind for high achieving realtors, called for Keller Williams Health and Capital Building, Wealth and Capital Building. Yeah, so I'll be speaking there. If you happen to be in the Central Florida area, dial and come on through. All right, y'all. I want to start with the Oshun deck. All right, I'm feeling my divine feminine this morning, so I want to see what's going on with the divine feminine first using the Oshun deck. Thank you for the clutch, child. Thank you. Thank you. All right, so let's see what my divine feminine need to know. All right, we're gonna be in our Oshun energy this morning, queens. All right, let's get into it now. If I got my kings listening, you know I'm gonna get y'all a message too. Just tap in, y'all. All right, let's get into the energy. All right, even though I'm saying divine feminine, y'all, you know we all have masculine and feminine energy. And my messages are general, so I'm gonna make sure that I cover the kings and the queens, y'all. All right, let's get into the energy. Oh, you work for Keller Williams, Deja? I love that. See, y'all know everything is. I love it. Everything, y'all. It's that's how we are. It's the synergy, y'all. Yep, it's something called Caper and Capital Building Wealth. All right, mastermind with Keller Williams. All right, y'all. Let's get into the energy. Ooh, okay, that's too many. Should I take these? Okay, God. Okay. All right. Oshun, healing sage. Oshun of boundaries and Oshun of envy. Damn. All right, y'all. Yep, your warrior at the bottom, y'all. All right, this is an ancestor message. Oshun of the ancestors. All right, y'all. Somebody, we got an ancestor message here. We was just talking about granddaddy. Samantha, you call this message up, girl. Oh, Lord. Me and Samantha was just talking about, y'all, as soon as we came on the live. We were talking about ancestors, y'all. Her granddad is 102, or would have been 102 today. Y'all, this is an ancestor message, all right? Oshun of the ancestors, sacred lineage, belonging, and family. All right? Somebody, you got an ancestor message coming through about your family. All right? This is about your healing journey. 1428 could be significant, y'all. That's 777. 7. All right, yeah, 7 times. Look, I'm over here adding up. 7 times 3. Yeah, stop playing. That's 77777. Yeah, okay. All right. 18 could be significant, or 16. So I'm getting a lot of teenage years. All right. So your teenage years were very significant: 16, 18, 14, even 28. But I feel like for somebody, 28, y'all, is this age of what? Boundaries. Say that shit, y'all. Somebody, I'm seeing this is a progression of age and your growth, right? See, somebody, your ancestors have been protecting you. The age of 6 could be very significant. This is the number 6. 6 is the number of harmony, right? 16 as well, y'all. 616, June 16th. Yeah, somebody, you are reaching the stage of cosmic surrender. All right, 42 could be significant, y'all. 4 and 2 is what? Another damn 6. I love it, y'all. The ancestors. Ancestors. Y'all know I'm a CPA, so I'm always gonna read the numbers, right? I numerology. I look at numbers all day. I can't help it, y'all. Right? I'm telling you. Yeah, you got the key. Stop playing. Beautiful, beautiful, y'all. Ocean of unlocked gates. Look at that little girl. I told you, somebody. This is an ancestor message. Somebody, your ancestors have been with you since you were a child, right? You always had the key to your lineage. You always had the key to the success of what it is that you and your family are building. Even if you a man, y'all, somebody, you are the patriarch, right? If you are feminine, you are the matriarch, y'all. We've been talking about this all week, where the chosen one, we've had the key to breaking certain generational curses even when we were children. This is an ancestor message, y'all. Yeah. And now you're at the stage, right, of cosmic surrender. Somebody, you birthing something. Look, and it's a miracle. Stop playing. Miracles is behind that, y'all. Stop playing. This thing says ocean of mother's milk. 41. 4 and 1 is 5. 5 is change. Look how she's nursing that baby. See Bambi over there? Somebody, you see deer a lot. You can see deer in your backyard, or bees. Somebody, you seeing a lot of bees. This is that nurturing. That's that mother's milk energy, y'all. Somebody, you're nurturing. This is your harvest season. This is your prosperity. Yeah. Somebody, you can expect a miracle, says your ancestors. Yeah. You can expect a miracle, y'all. See, somebody, you clearing out a major mother wound. And this keeps coming up. Somebody, y'all watch the spiritual baddie. All right, y'all. If y'all don't watch the spiritual baddie on here on YouTube, she called a spiritual baddie, y'all. Young girl. Young girl. Young girl can't be no more than, she had her daughter or son, I think, at 18, and her oldest is 5. Her daughter at 18 is 5. So what is that? 18, 19, maybe 24, 25 years old, right? When I tell this young lady, she's an influencer, she has 3 children. I don't know if she's married or not, but I know she do her damn thing. She got on live yesterday, y'all, and she talked about her mother wounds. And when I tell you, child, it's all about life, y'all. Her mama, she was 7 years old, y'all, and her mother had her cooking for the whole family, and she wasn't even the oldest. She just happened to be the only girl. Somebody, you the only girl, right? Or you could be the oldest son. It doesn't matter, y'all. When mothers, right, begin to teach you that you are nothing more than someone who is responsible for everyone else, it creates major woundings. She was 7 years old, y'all, with a 14-year-old brother and two brothers older than her, right? Then it was her, I believe, and then another child. She was the one cooking, and she was the only girl. So her mother made her do what, y'all? Take care of men. Stop playing. Her mother taught her how to do what, y'all? Take care of men, right? Her mother made sure that her brothers went to college, made sure that her oldest brother, he is like some wealthy person now, because her mother poured every ounce into her brother and taught her nothing. So when she get pregnant at 18, her mama did what? Put her eye. Y'all know how that dumb shit go. You don't give her any tools to be a mother, to be a responsible woman. All you do is teach her how to cook and take care of you and her siblings. And then she get pregnant at 18 and you put her out. It's so many broken family dynamics, y'all, in this world. And at the point we begin to heal, what are you doing? You setting boundaries, y'all. There is a collective of people who are no longer dealing with family simply because you will not be around me and you have wounded me, y'all. That's stupid. And as long as you keep people around you who are what? Envious and jealous, guess what? You always at war. But we're no longer fighting. And the only way you will not be at war is to cut people off, y'all. Stop playing. As long as you keep people around, you still at war. And that's what I wanted to tell her so badly, y'all. Because she still talks to her mother. She still let that lady come around. And then she be like, and now she the best grandma ever. But the only reason she's a good grandmother to her children, to spiritual baddies children, is because the son had kids. Before the son had kids, she didn't give a fuck about her grandkids. But when that son had kids, now she the best grandma to all of them. That lady don't give a fuck about her. And the only thing I want to tell her is the way you still hurt is because you can't heal. And the reason you can't heal is because you still around her ass. Fuck her. No, she can't be around your grandkids. No, you don't need to be a great grandmother to my kids if you were a horrible mother to me. That's stupid. If people cannot show up and apologize for who they have been in your life and be a better person to you, then hell no, you can't have no relationship with my kids, y'all. That's stupid. Yeah, you can't go make up for some shit you should have done then. No. And if you want to make up for it, it don't start with my kids. It starts with me. Right? Kids don't have that you got to be able to understand, y'all. Kids are innocent, right? So if you take a low vibrational person and put them around your children, all you are doing is allowing negative energy around them. Children are open sources of energy, right? So I don't care what this person, you damn well better believe she's saying shit to your children under her breath. You damn well better believe she talking negative shit about your children, around your children, and speaking curses over your children's life. Do not let people around your children who do not respect you. That's stupid. Somebody, you are at war with your whole lineage, y'all. Literally. It literally says sacred lineage, belonging in family. What's next to that, y'all? Oshun of mother's milk. It's the mother woundings, y'all. It's the mother woundings. And a lot of times you over here in regret, right? Like you did something. If you are the chosen, the only thing you have ever done wrong to your family is being born. You are guilty of the crime of being born. That's it, y'all. You ain't done none of these people. 744, right? 744. 7 is spirituality, y'all. 4 is a foundation, right? The only crime you are guilty of, y'all, is being born, right? That's it. And so many people, it's shame and it's regret, y'all. Look, 22 is on that card. And what do we say? 744, y'all. Right? That is your only crime. As the chosen, you ain't done nothing to nobody. Stop playing. You ain't done nothing, y'all. You ain't done nothing. You just are brazen enough to speak about it. Say that, God. You are just brazen enough to call out the generational curses so that you can be the one to break them. And people don't like your brazenness. People don't like the fact that they can't shut you up. People don't like the fact that they can't shut you down, y'all. So when you begin to rise, right, for many of us, right? You have these mother wounds where your mother is literally jealous of you when she got the same damn gifts. It's just the fact that she would not use her gifts for good. So God said, all right, then I'm going to give it to the one that will do it for good, not for evil. Right? I'm going to give the blessings to the one who is going to bless others, right? Many of y'all have mothers that were supposed to be millionaires, mothers that were supposed to do all of these great things, right? But they made bad choices and decisions. And then they want to now live their life vicariously through you. You don't get to do that. You do not get to take somebody's destiny and make it your own because you made bad decisions. It's women that got in abusive relationships. They was with raggedy ass, abusive ass men that molested their kids and did all of this stuff. And now all of a sudden you mad at the daughter. Why you mad at the daughter? Because your man looking at her. That's stupid. But these are low vibrational, toxic ass, broken mothers. And all they want you to do is what? Be a broken daughter. And at the point you are none of that, now they jealous. Why? Because you made better choices and decisions. Stop playing, y'all. Stop playing. Everybody got choices and decisions, y'all. Everybody does. All of us make bad choices. All of us done choose wrong men. All of us have been in a relationship that we knew we shouldn't have been in, but at the point you woke up and said, I can do better. All of us have had children early or unprepared. Right? Hell, you can be 30 and have a child and be unprepared. Right? So whatever it is, we've all been through it, y'all. But at the point you were dealing with family, because this is ancestry, y'all. This is family. Somebody, you are going to experience a miracle. Miracle, y'all. That thing says divine synchronicity, unexpected blessings, and hope. And you doing it, y'all, for your whole lineage because you don't care no more about belonging, y'all. The only time you still cry because family events and you cry, right? Because your mama wounds and your daddy wounds and you still feel a way about it. It's because you ain't healed it, y'all. Don't nobody care about these damn people. When you want to belong, right? When you want to belong, it does hurt. When you don't give a fuck about belonging, that shit don't matter. It doesn't matter, y'all. You don't need to belong to any damn thing. And that's what I don't like about this society, y'all. Everything in this society teaches people that you need to belong to something. You need to belong to a church. You need to belong to a religion. You need to belong to an organization. You need to belong at your job. You need to fit in. You need to fit in. You need to belong. No, the fuck you don't. You ain't got to belong into shit. That's stupid. You ain't gotta belong in nothing. You gotta go to that job, do your job, get your paycheck, and go home. You ain't gotta belong there, right? You ain't gotta go commit and pledge yourself to an organization so they can whoop your ass so you can belong, right? That's stupid as fuck. I am someone who believes in fraternities and sororities, but I believe they should look at the character of what someone has built in their current life and invite them in. Why the fuck somebody gotta pledge your oath to a motherfucker? That's stupid. Why you got to pledge your life and your legacy to someone or something to belong? That's stupid. Pledge your life to God and God alone, and God will do the rest. God will do the rest, y'all. She wanted to see you hurt, Monica. Monica, she just wanted to see you hurt. They take joy in your pain, y'all. My mama stood in my damn kitchen 2 weeks ago, and I was telling her about a situation that really pissed me off, and it was really hurtful. That lady laughed at me and said, well, why does it bother you so much? And God said, don't you ever let her see you cry again. And it wasn't because I was hurting. It was because I was passionate, right? I was like, damn, right? Like, why did this person do this to me and try to upstage me at my event? I'm passionately telling my mama what's going on. That motherfucker look at me in my face and say, well, why does it bother you? I said, never again. Let me tell you, I don't give a fuck, right? I don't give a fuck. I will never allow you to demean me when I know who I am. Stop playing, y'all. Somebody, you are bringing back a sacred lineage to your bloodline that is without guilt, remorse, or self-loathing. Somebody, your mama hate herself, y'all. Stop playing. She hate the parent and the woman that she is. Y'all, look at this damn card. God said, look at that. She hates herself because she had ancestors covering her, but she let her own guilt, remorse, and self-loathing push her into shame and regret. That's it, y'all. That's it. That's coming up under mother's milk. But let me tell you, right? Many women, if your mama crazy, how was her mama? Because I'm going to tell you, it's two situations in that. If you have a mother that is broken, that means one of two things. Either her mama was broken or she wasn't raised with her mother. See, my grandmother is, ooh, child, you know, y'all know me. My grandmama is my main ancestor. She raised me. She is a beautiful woman, but she didn't raise my mama. And my mama is jealous of that. Y'all stop playing. My mama jealous that my grandmother, right? Thank you, love. We talking about Mother's Day, y'all. And she said it. Why did I not even realize that, y'all? I didn't even realize that this is a Mother's Day message, y'all. Oh my God. Thank you. She said it. I didn't even realize that, y'all. This is what this is. All of this mother energy is out here, y'all. Yes. Right? Somebody, you got to clear these wounds so you can enjoy your Mother's Day, y'all. Because I'm going to tell you, y'all, my grandmother is beautiful spirit, beautiful energy, but she didn't raise my mama. Now, My granddaddy was a fool and kidnapped them and took them from her. Y'all, my granddaddy took them, right? So my grandmother didn't raise my mama. So, but how you gonna be mad at a lady that didn't raise you when you know that man took you? Right? Like, how are you mad at her because he took? Right? That's crazy, y'all. But it's easy for women to blame people for the way they are than to accept responsibility that really you just made bad choices, y'all. My mama just made bad choices. My mama was miss of her high school. She modeled beautiful. You see me? My mama had all of that. But my mama got pregnant with a set of twins and didn't go to college. That's her fault. Stop playing. That's your fault, right? Stop putting responsibility on people. That ain't had shit to do with your mama. That ain't had shit to do with nothing. You got pregnant at 18 with a set of twins. So now you can't go model. Now you can't go to college. Now you lost your track scholarship. How the fuck is that her problem? It's not, y'all. But broken ass women will blame people for the decisions they made. Somebody, your mama had a lot of regret. That's it. That's all. A lot of regret. And she hate herself for not being who it is that God told her to be. She was never brazen enough to do it the way you doing it. Say that shit, God. Yeah, somebody, she was not brazen enough to do it the way you doing it. I'm seeing this deck. I don't use this deck, y'all, but this is a deck I'm seeing, and it is a beautiful feminine tarot deck. All right, y'all, let's get into the energy, y'all. All right, I'll be ending today at about 8:30. All right, this will be your Mother's Day energy. I love it, y'all. We done pulled up a Mother's Day message and I ain't even realize it, y'all. All right, so let's get into the energy. I will not be live on TikTok this morning, y'all. I have a local speaking engagement, but I will be on TikTok this afternoon. I'm just not sure if it'll be at 2 or at 3 because I just don't know how long this event is going to take this morning. I'm thinking it will be closer to 3 o'clock, though. I'm thinking I'm going to go live at about 3 for afternoon tea because I still want to get into the weekend energy. All right, so I will do that. All right, it's your destiny, y'all. I could never make it up. The damn card flipped up, y'all. The Chariot. It's your destiny, y'all. Somebody, it's your destiny. It's 69 people watching, y'all. All right, I got 47 thumbs up. Continue to like the video, send the super chats and thanks and all that, y'all, so that the algorithms get out there. It's your destiny, y'all. The Chariot. You were destined for this, y'all. But guess what? We can't control our destiny. They got to take that shit up with God. So instead of you continuing to ask for forgiveness, right? Instead of you continuing to want to build relationships, y'all, don't chase a family dynamic. Chase your destiny. Don't chase your mama them. Chase your destiny, y'all. That's all it is. As long as people can keep you chasing them, they are never going to look strength. Somebody, they jealous of your strength. They jealous of your strength, y'all. Look at that. Beautiful. Jealous of your strength and your destiny. Your strength and your destiny. And when you realize that, y'all, that's when you do what? You set boundaries, y'all. Look, Oshun of boundaries. Let's clarify. All right. Somebody you got that healing energy, restoration, compassion. Somebody you the wounded healer. But you are healing your family, y'all. Ooh, and your inner child. Stop playing, y'all. I just looked at this card. Look at these generations of women. I could never make it up, y'all. Look at the generations of women. Car. Look at the young lady, right? Look at the in the mirror, y'all. Generations. Somebody you healing generations of your bloodline. Because you are the wounded healer. But you learn how to set boundaries, y'all. Stop playing. What's boundaries? All right, y'all, let's clarify. What's boundaries? 10 of Wands. Stop playing, y'all. I could never make it up. 10 of Wands, y'all. You set boundaries. You said, I will no longer carry the burden of this family. I will no longer, it says, cutting the cord, energetic balance and liberation. Somebody, you've just been weighed down. Literally, by your family, y'all. You have been weighed down, and now you want to take flight is what I'm hearing. Like somebody, you want to pursue your own passions, y'all. Look at that. This you. And that damn Knight of Wands, y'all, is fire energy, y'all. Strength, Leo energy. 10 of Wands, fire energy, y'all. Knight of Wands, fire, y'all. Somebody, you are so passionate about what it is that you building right now that nobody and nothing can keep you away. You have set yourself free, y'all. Liberation, Eight of Swords in reverse. You have set yourself free. Yeah. From all of this, y'all. And somebody, your mama look like this. Trapped, bound, y'all. Then look at this lady. She don't even look like she could get out of what she's in, y'all. So whatever this is that you're breaking in this generational curse or this mother wounding, and I'm gonna tell you, y'all, if you listening to me and you had a great mother, support the ones in the chat that didn't, y'all. Because many of the chosen, you ain't had no great relationship with your mama because you were the chosen one. And guess what? That automatically is going to do what? Create jealousy, envy, y'all. That's all it is. It's jealousy and it's envy. It says self-doubt, inadequacy. Why? Because many women made bad choices in their life and it made them doubt themselves and it made them feel inadequate. But at the point you made those decisions are on you. You cannot take that and project it on the other people, y'all. 757. 7 is the number of spirituality. 5 is the number of change. And you are the catalyst to change, y'all. It's 55. Thumbs up. 55, y'all. 5 is change. You are the catalyst to change. And many people are envious of that. All right. 56 people watching. If you're enjoying the content, please give it a thumbs up. If you are not, then drop off so that the thumbs up and the people watching match. All right. Join us on Discord, y'all, to continue the conversation on healing your mother wounds. All right. Get the guidebook, y'all. I created a guidebook. It's only $5.55 on my website. It's called Clearing Core Wounds, right? It takes you through your mother wounds. It takes you through father wounds, and it takes you through sibling wounds, y'all. We have family woundings. And when you realize that, you got to be able to see what that looks like in your life so you know how to set boundaries, y'all. Clarify jealousy. Why is this mother figure jealous? Why is this mother figure jealous? Y'all, 7 of Swords in reverse because you see their asses, y'all. I could never make it up. These goddamn cards coming out. 7 of Swords in reverse because you see the deception, y'all. The fool. You on your damn journey. And you've made the decision. 2 of Wands, y'all. Right? 2 of Wands. And now they are afraid, y'all. All of this, it ain't working no more, y'all. Like you realize that, I'm tired. 9 of Wands. You say, I don't have time for this anymore, right? So somebody with the Fool and the 2 of Wands, you decided to no longer be somebody's burden carrier. You decided to no longer carry the burdens of your family. 9 of Wands, you was tired of that shit. With the 10 of Wands, hell yeah. You set boundaries, y'all. And when you set boundaries, guess what? God called judgment. God called judgment when you set boundaries. God cannot step into the situation of your family until you step out the way, y'all. If you keep people around you, then God gonna keep letting them fuck you over, right? If you keep people around you who you know do not like you, are not there for your highest and greatest good, people don't even like you, child. They jealous, they envious, all of that stuff, y'all. They plant seeds of self-doubt in your head. And when that happens, guess what? God said, well, I'm just gonna keep having to letting it do. Why? Because if God steps in, you gonna get hit too. Right? So what you got to realize is it's at the point you step out the way, then you allow God to step in. Then people can get what? Judgment. Judgment, y'all. Let me tell you, love, if you feel like your husband is cheating on you, then he is. Because in your mind, he is. So it does not matter if I pull a card and say, is he cheating? Yes or no. If he is cheating, your intuition has already told you that. If he is not cheating, your insecurities are telling you that. You need to figure out which one is the truth. Is he cheating? Right? If you got evidence, then he's cheating. If you ain't got no evidence, then it's your insecurities. But you need to figure that out. All right? Judgment. Judgment, y'all. All right. So now God is stepping into somebody's whole family because if you step out the way, God will always step in. If you step out of the way, God will always step in. All right. 5 of Pentacles. Somebody you done lost a lot, or these people are. Oh, that's their judgment. Say that shit, God. Oh, yeah. Their judgment, y'all, is the 5 of Pentacles. What is that? Loss, lack, financial hardship. Right? That's what it is. But you got to step out the way. Why? Because as long as you around, you going to get this too. How many times, y'all, have we been around people Right? How many times have we been around people and we end up losing money? We end up losing jobs. We end up losing things because you were around people and they are under judgment. So if they are under judgment and you are around them, guess what? You gonna get judgment too, y'all. Sometimes you ain't even do nothing, y'all. Sometimes you aren't even the one doing anything. It's just that you around these low vibrational toxic ass people and they be under judgment. And that's when God say that's why you need to set boundaries, cut the cord and move away. You got to cut the cord and move away. These people judgment is the Five of Pentacles. That's their judgment, y'all. Look, Four of Wands. You supposed to be over here building some shit with the damn Knight of Cups. Y'all stop playing. Somebody, you supposed to be following your heart. You supposed to be in your heart space, creating your own family, your own legacy, taking care of your own house, right? Being what? The mother that you are, y'all. Four of Wands. This is on your energy, right? You have to build what it is that you desire. Then you get in what it is that you desire. Somebody under judgment, y'all. Five of Pentacles. Yeah. Somebody's under judgment, y'all. What is this energy? Yeah. Nine of Cups. And their judgment is to see you happy, y'all. Beautiful energy. Ace of Pentacles. And the King of Cups, y'all. Somebody, you working hard and you getting it based on the desires of your heart. And because of that, you have many people, y'all. Their judgment is to see you happy in your Nine of Cups. Wish fulfillment, y'all. What is this energy? Hold on. Let me switch decks, y'all. All right, y'all. Happy Mother's Day. Somebody, the stronghold that was over your life because of your mother or your family, that shit's over with, y'all. It's over with. It's over with. Whatever this stronghold is, y'all. I just saw stronghold in the pre-shuffle. It's over with, y'all. What is this energy? Yeah, Scorpio energy, y'all. Something was significant, y'all, about this last Scorpio moon, right? The last full moon was in Scorpio, y'all. I don't know if somebody tried to think they was finna do something over this Scorpio moon or if this Scorpio moon is revealing, y'all, but it is something significant that took place, y'all, under the Scorpio moon. Yeah. What is this energy? This person could be a Scorpio or you could be a Scorpio. All right, what we got, y'all? Yeah, I could never fucking make it up. I told you, y'all, somebody, your mama is a copycat. Copycat energy, y'all. Now I'm hearing anything you can do, I can do better. Is that a commercial, y'all? You know you can. Yes, I can. No, you. Anything you can do, I can do better. No, you can't. Yes, you can. Stop, y'all. Somebody, you got a copycat mama. What the fuck? Yeah, that thing says someone is mimicking others without originality, seeking validation and recognition by intimidating rather than being authentic. Somebody, your mama, look, and trying to get financial opportunities off of it. Somebody is trying to get financial opportunities by copying your energy. That shit is crazy. I heard bat shit crazy. Right? Somebody, your mama is bat shit crazy. Absolutely, y'all. Someone is mimicking others without originality, seeking validation, recognition by intimidating. But what is it, y'all? Karmic justice. It ain't no fun, y'all, when the rabbit got the right? Karmic justice, y'all. Somebody getting karmic justice. It says when the tables turn, those who once held power find themselves at a disadvantage. Be mindful of shifting dynamics. What does this mean, y'all? What did I tell y'all? When you come from a broken family dynamic and you are the chosen one, you are the generational curse breaker, you begin to shift the dynamics in your family. Now, guess who the matriarch? Queen. Right? Guess who the patriarch? King. Right? If you are a king and you don't have a good father figure, you are that, y'all. You are the patriarch. Right? You are the matriarch. That's it, y'all. As the chosen, karmic justice is here because the tables are turning. And those who once held power, they ain't got no power. They don't have no power, y'all. None at all. The dynamic is shifting. And now, right, we as the chosen, you are building your legacy and your foundation the way you desire. You desire. Nobody's in no traditional shit no more. You marry who you want to marry. You be with who you want to be with. You can build a life partnership. You ain't never got to get married. Whatever it is that you desire, God is saying the shifting of the dynamic is here. And now you have people who are trying to mimic what they never had on the inside, because you do it from a pure heart. Somebody, I could never make it up. God say, look at the bottom of the deck, y'all. Somebody, you are a star child. And your mama or your daddy, whoever this is, y'all, your family, they know it. This is generational, y'all. This is an ancestor message for Mother's Day. Beautiful. You have always been this, y'all. Star child. Beautiful. It says star children bring light and wisdom, guiding humanity towards higher consciousness and a brighter future. And guess what it is, y'all? You ain't no longer afraid. Somebody fear is in the reverse. Somebody, you used to be afraid of your mom or your dad or your family. Somebody, your whole damn family bullied you. I just heard that. Somebody, your whole family bullied you. Your cousins bullied you. Somebody, there is a masculine. You are spiritually gifted, and people knew that shit. And they bullied you, y'all, especially men that are seers. Right? Men that are seers, men that know shit. Man, you was having dreams and you telling your cousins, them, your homeboys, man, I had this dream that I was a millionaire. And they talking about, man, you ain't no millionaire. Stop. Man, I had a dream that I was playing football. You are a dreamer, but people kill this vision is what I'm seeing. And somebody, you cut it off, y'all. You have supreme authority, but they never wanted you to see it, y'all. Burning evidence. They never wanted it to come together, y'all. Stop playing teamwork. Somebody never wanted you to see the evidence, y'all. Burning evidence. They didn't want you to see the evidence of your gift, y'all. Stop playing. What is the evidence? What is the evidence they didn't want the collective to see? What is the evidence? Look, I sound like intuitive Kev, y'all. What is the evidence, right? That thing says glow with purpose, for your light is a guidepost in the vast cosmos. I could never make it up. Stop playing, y'all. Your light, they wanted to darken you, y'all. They never want, what did I say? What evidence? What did they not want you to see? Your light. That's it, y'all. That thing says glow with purpose. See, many people have purpose, y'all, but they take their purpose and squander it, right? They take their purpose and they use it to increase their own personal power versus to increase the power of the collective and bring awareness to the collective, y'all. When you use your gifts, what is that? Them people that be in church using their spiritual gifts to get fat pockets, y'all. Using their spiritual gifts, right? Even if it's the gift of song, even if it's the gift of dance, whatever your gift is, when you begin to use your gift as a way to not increase or benefit the collective, when it is a collective gift, then stop playing, y'all. Somebody, they never wanted you to see your light. Burning evidence. All right, let's get one more. What else evidence? What else? Look, I could never make it up. Ancient bloodline. You got an ancient bloodline, y'all. Somebody never wanted you to see that you are fucking royalty. I could never. Somebody never wanted you to see that you are royalty. They want you to act like you from a broken family. Oh, my lights was all growing up. I ain't have no food. We was in the cheese line. We was on Section 8. We was on hood. All of that shit, y'all. It don't fucking matter. I've been in Forbes 3 years in a row. My bloodline was always royal, y'all. It does not matter. Your past is no indication of your future. Your past is no indication of your future. I grew up in Central Florida in the hood. My mama was in that 80s, 90s crack epidemic. Hello, right? I was born in 75. My mama was in that crack epidemic, okay? So I was with my grandma in the hood. We was in the cheese line, right? We was getting the food stamps, all of that. That was no indication of who I am. That was my story. And that's the story that brings us strength, right? To get out of those situations and create what? A royal bloodline. You create your bloodline, not the people that came before you. Your mama them ain't never created your bloodline, y'all. Your daddy them ain't never created your bloodline. All of this is lessons. All right, I'm hearing lessons. All right, y'all, let's see what the collective lesson is when it comes to family. All right, what is this collective lesson when it comes to family and boundary setting? All right, y'all, I am the Lady Empath 1111, y'all. Welcome to the live. I'm live every morning at 7:15 for your daily guidance. All right, then I'm usually live on TikTok at 9, but I will not be live this morning. I have a local speaking engagement, but I will be on TikTok this afternoon, probably around 3 o'clock. All right, just for some afternoon tea. All right, have some fun over on TikTok today, y'all. I thank you so much for the gifts. All right, make sure you give the video a thumbs up. Make sure you guys follow me. All right, join the Discord, y'all. Discord is the support community. All right, for people who need it. If this is your story, go on Discord and tell everybody how you feel, y'all. Let it out. A lot of times we hold it in because we don't understand, right? Let me tell you, love, the woman who asked if her husband was cheating, go to Discord, right? Put it on there, right? And let these ladies support you through whatever it is. But I'm not going to talk about that on my live. All right, let's get into it. All right, what are the lessons, right? The collective lesson. Woo, y'all, that thing says Father. When I say these goddamn cars flying this morning, don't ever question my gift. What did I say? Father for somebody. That thing says the absent king. Let's talk about this, y'all, because you know I'm going to get you a good Father's Day message when Father's Day come around. But many women and men, right? But women more so, right? Because y'all look at y'all fathers as kings, right? While men look at their mothers as queens, right? But are they a representation of a king or a queen? Fuck no. They are not. I do not like to see men shout their mama out on Facebook talking about my queen when that bitch is a peasant, y'all. All you doing is telling her that her behavior is okay because you still talking about my queen, right? My queen, my mother is my queen, and you know she done ruined every relationship you done ever had. You know that she done ruined you if you let her, but you call her your queen. What you are telling her is that her behavior is okay and that you support how she shows up in your life. That's stupid, right? But the same thing with these absent ass fathers, y'all. I used to think my father was a king. Why? Because he was there on a 1 weekend a month, and I always got holiday presents. So I thought that was a king, y'all. Fuck no, that was not a king. If you got a daddy that visited you once a month, but he always got you something for Christmas, whatever you wanted. Whatever you wanted for Christmas, whatever you wanted for birthdays, but he was not physically there on a regular basis to empower you, to tell you that you were beautiful, to tell you that you are loved, to show you that fatherly love. That is not a fucking king, y'all. That's not a king. And many times, y'all, thank you for the gift, love. Many times, because we are broken and we come from broken families, you feel like, well, damn, at least I got a daddy, right? Because my friends didn't have a father. So I'm thinking, well, I guess my daddy good, right? Because my friend ain't even got a daddy around. Fuck no. That ain't no better, y'all. Stop playing. That is called what? An absent king. What does this thing say, y'all? It says whether, all right, whether he ruled with an iron fist or disappeared like a ghost, his presence or lack thereof taught you what protection should have felt like. In seeking his approval, you learn to validate yourself. Let me tell you, an absent ass father, if you learn, you're going to learn how to validate yourself. But if you don't, you're going to want other men to validate you. The good thing is my absent father, because I had a strong grandmother, taught me to validate myself. I ain't never needed a man to validate me, which is why I didn't have children young. Most girls that get pregnant early is because you're looking for love from a father you never had. As soon as the first man validates you, your ass fuck him and now you're pregnant, right? So thank God my grandmother, because I grew up in church, y'all. And I will tell you, not all church is bad. I share my gift the way I share it. I don't say church is bad. I grew up in a church that happened to be good, but it was good because my grandmother was good, right? My grandmother said, sit on the front row. Don't go to the back of the church. My grandmother said, don't go in the basement. Them girls fast. Don't be running behind them boys. Stay on the front row. I sat my ass on the front row of that church. My grandma looked at me from the choir stand, and I am who I am because of her. Right? I will always shout my grandma out, y'all, because I could have been a product of my environment. I ain't had no damn daddy. So I should be one of them girls that every time a boy said I was cute was like laughing and giggling. I ain't give a fuck what boys said about me. I knew who the fuck I was. Y'all stop playing. That's why I know who I am now. Right? But somebody it is. It's the absent father. All right? Somebody, I can never make it up. Somebody, it's the competition energy. I told you. Copycat. Somebody, your mama, your daddy, whatever it is, y'all, it's that competition. Secret competition, y'all. That thing says competition energy, the race without a finish line. Secret competition. How many people got siblings in secret competition, right? How many people, y'all, got siblings, got moms, got all of these people in secret competition? That's all it is, y'all. It says this energy turns connection into comparison, ambition into obsession. It thrives on being first, best, or most admired, fueling silent rivalries where none were needed. The drive to win overshadows the reason to play, and success feels empty without someone to outshine. The lesson: don't play the false game. That's a false game, y'all. Somebody, you playing a false game with your family, your mama, your daddy, your siblings, what the hell ever, because they are in this secret ass competition with you. That's when I stopped telling people about my achievements, y'all. I did. Like, we got a family chat. I don't put my achievements in that family chat. I don't even tell nobody no more, y'all, because they don't give a fuck. They be in secret competition. They cannot even say congratulations, right? They can't say it. That they be about to choke on their throw up, y'all. They be about to throw up in their mouth and choke on it. They do not want to acknowledge your wins, y'all. So what you got to realize is, do you give a fuck? No, right? The last win I had, I ain't put that shit. I ain't telling these damn people nothing. Fuck them. It's 818. 8 is manifestation. 1 is new beginnings. When God is giving you manifested new beginnings, you don't give a fuck about what people think. I don't share my good news with anybody. Now, catch my shit on social. That's what I say, y'all. Catch my shit on social, right? Because I ain't saying shit, y'all. That's it. That's all. All right. So somebody, you're learning from this absent father or the competition energy in your family. All right. Let's get one more. All right. Let's get one more lesson. All right. Damn, uncle. Somebody, you got a weird ass uncle? Damn, y'all, uncle came out. Somebody, it says shadow in the family. Whether he was the black sheep or the one who hid behind charm and entitlement, his presence taught you that silence enables harm. The lesson: sometimes the real danger isn't the person in question, but the family that protects them. Somebody, you had an uncle that did something very inappropriate, and I'm going to tell you why. Because this damn shame and regret is out here. And you had a mother or mother figure or somebody that told you to be silent because they were too afraid to face their own shame and guilt. Somebody covered this up. And let me tell you, y'all, family that covers up pedophilia, right? Molestation, all of that stuff, they are sick. If somebody is touching somebody or whatever, because I ain't trying to get flagged, right? You got to understand, people that tell you to cover it up is because they broken as fuck, y'all. Those are the main people you keep away from you, y'all. Hell, you know this one ain't going to be around you, but you don't need to be around the ones that covered it up either. That's stupid, right? I'm talking about it. Who is that? Leisha? Abso-fucking-lutely, y'all. I'm going to tell you something. My sister tried to cover up something that happened in my family, and I said, the fuck is we doing here? You don't cover up no shit. You better I'm letting everybody know. Let me find out something, y'all. And I'm telling you, people who want to cover it up, they are worse than the people who did it. Because the one who covers it up means that now when the person that it happened to can't even get help because nobody is saying anything. So now you covering up shit. What that does is it stops the person's ability to heal because you want to cover it up. So now if something happened to your niece, cousin, aunt, whoever the fuck, and ain't nobody said nothing, then that person can't even go get help because y'all covering it up. So for every little girl that had something happen to her and the family covered it up, I bet you ain't go to therapy. I bet you ain't go to counseling. Why? Because they said don't tell nobody. So now you live your whole life never addressing what took place because they want to cover it up. Let me tell you, y'all, if you are a victim of that, man, I don't know why the fuck you talking to anybody in your family. Man, I wish I can honestly say that has never happened to me, but let me tell you, I know people in my family has happened to, and I don't even talk to the people that did it to them. So why in the hell would I talk to somebody that did it to me? That's stupid, right? So if I know people in the family, I don't talk to them. Y'all are nasty individuals, and I will never speak to y'all again, right? And it ain't happened to me. So what you gotta understand is this, right? Your ass got to cut people off, even if you know they was doing it to other people. That's stupid. Why the hell you gonna be around some nasty uncle and you know his ass a pedophile? Why would you be? I don't care if it's your brother. If that nigga nasty, he nasty. Now shit. Woo! All right, y'all. I don't know where these messages are coming from. I'm trying to look at the chat, y'all. Or they say what, yeah, that dumb shit right there, Timothy. Or they say what stays in the house, what happens in the house stays in the house, y'all. Let me tell you, that is the most broken shit in black families. Now, I don't know nobody else's family, I'm black. But in black homes, they say that shit. What goes on in my house stays in my house. And what does that do? It's a stronghold. It keep you from telling. It keep you from protecting yourself. It keeps you stuck, y'all. My mama used to leave me and my brother home by ourselves at 5 years old. 5, y'all. My mama worked overnight. We were 5. And then she said, don't open the door for nobody and don't go in or out. So what is a 5-year-old to do if the house was to catch on fire, y'all? And your mama done told you don't go in or out the house. It's not but by the grace of God, y'all. How the fuck you leave a 5-year-old home and then tell me, well, what was I supposed to do? I had a job. You were supposed to not have children, dummy. What were you supposed to do? Not have children. Do not leave 5-year-olds home and talking about you ain't got no babysitter. What I'm supposed to do? Not have children. Simple, right? It is not okay for you to leave children home alone. That's stupid. And it's too many women. Well, what I'm supposed to do? Shoot, I gotta work. Then don't fucking have children, dumbass. The fuck is you talking about? Y'all, that's stupid. All right, I got to get ready to get out of here, y'all. Let me get you some advice. Of course, I always want to end on a happy note, right? Because sometimes the messages are deep, and this happened to be a deep message, y'all. And I suppose it's because of the Mother's Day energy. All of this literally came out, y'all. So this is about mother wounding, but it's a reminder, y'all, of your ancient bloodline. Every experience we have had in our family is simply allowing us to do what? Create our own bloodline. You're not a representation of your mother's woundings. You are not a representation of your father's woundings. You are a representation of God in your life. How you show up and what you do, you be the representation of God, y'all. That's it. That's all. Don't nobody give a fuck about these people. We don't. Like, we read the energy, right? Because we need to heal. But don't nobody care about these damn people, y'all. Because people will keep you stuck in hell every day of your life. People will keep you stuck in hell every day of your life. People be so worried, y'all, about dying and going to hell. And at the point you stand around a mama who's sabotaging your whole life, right? At the point you around family, for my kings that's sucking y'all dry. They got their hand out. You got to pay their bills. You got to take care of every damn body. You already in hell. And all you got to do is take your power back. Hell no, you ain't got to pay for your sister them to go to college. That's never your responsibility. That's for a man, right? Divine masculines. No, you ain't got to help your little sister go to college. No, that's not your fucking responsibility. No, you ain't got to help your mama pay her bills. That's not your fucking responsibility. They make single men kings, y'all. Kings are real kings. So now your broken ass family will make you responsible for their brokenness. And then you will never be able to create the foundation of your own legacy. What is that? Your children. If you trying to support your baby sister through college, where the fuck your children college fund at? That's stupid. You trying to buy a house and you saving money, but your mama got her hand out every week. That's stupid. right? Your legacy is what you build for yourself. And as long as you giving it away to everybody else, you'll never have an inheritance, y'all. That's why people ain't got shit to leave to their kids. Cause you ain't got no inheritance. You giving it away to people that ain't never fucking matter. If you taking out your 401k to go help take care of other people's medical bills, you stupid. If you pulling away from anything that is supposed to support the foundation of who you are, you stupid. Join us, y'all. All right. I didn't say that. Who is that defensive as hell? You defensive, love. Nobody said that, y'all. We all know that it's not all mothers. How in the hell could you have all mothers bad, y'all? I just told you, y'all, my grandmother is beautiful. My grandmother don't do no wrong in my life. Who would be what? A mother, right? And I simply said this. If you have a good mother, kiss her. Thank her. Why? Because I'm a damn good mama, y'all. My children are beautiful. The fuck? My kids are wonderful, amazing kids. Not all mothers are bad mothers because I'm a beast mode mother, right? My kids are the best kids ever. My kids ain't never been in no trouble. My 11111 on the fucking timer when I say that. So guess what? I know not all mothers are bad because I'm a great one. All right, let's get into your daily messages. All right, I gotta get out of here, y'all. I got a speaking engagement this morning. All right, so I will be on TikTok though around this afternoon for afternoon tea. All right, I will not be on TikTok this morning, but I'll be on later. Join me on the Discord, y'all. All right, I created Discord, all right, for us to have that support system because let me tell you, if you had a great childhood, then you the one that need to be on Discord encouraging people who didn't, y'all. It's simple, right? That's the balance. If you had the great childhood, then you need to be the support system for the ones that don't, y'all. Everything is balanced. Everything is good and bad. There are great fathers. There are horrific fathers. There are great spiritualists. There are horrific spiritualists. There are great pastors. There are horrific pastors. Everything in this world is called yin motherfucking yang. Hello, y'all. Balance. All right, let's get to your messages, closing messages. All right, closing messages. All right, Joy, beautiful. Somebody your name, Joy. I love it. Beautiful, y'all. It says finding joy in the little things every day. That's your inner child, y'all. See that little girl? Now somebody, you've recaptured your joy. You understand who you are and you're living life at your fullest, y'all. Somebody, your joy is being restored. Beautiful. Find joy, y'all, in the little things every day. All right, release it. All right, release any woundings that you have. All right, release any woundings that you have. If you hurt, release it, y'all. Right? I can talk about my childhood because I'm not hurt about it at all, y'all. That's called your testimony, right? Your testimony. And let me tell you, your life now is a representation of your healing, right? So my life represents a beautiful healing journey, right? So you just release it, y'all. Beautiful. It says, let go of what no longer serves you, right? So if your family don't serve you, release their asses, right? If the opinions of others don't serve you, release them. Don't nobody care at all, y'all. Release that shit. All right, release it. Let go of what no longer serves you. All right, and compassion. This is all that God asks, y'all, is right here. You ain't got to give a fuck about your mama, sister, cousin, brother, them. All you got to do is what? Exercise compassion. That's all God ever asked you to do. Hey, God ain't never asked you none of that other shit, y'all. All you had to do was what? Show compassion to yourself first. It says show compassion towards yourself and others. Show your broken mama, daddy, cousin, them compassion. It's okay, right? But you ain't got to be around their asses, y'all. It's just compassion. You can be compassionate. What is that? Love. I could never make it up. You can show people compassion and you can love them, but you can also release them when you need your what? Joy. Why? Because freedom. Freedom is in what, y'all? Detachment. Why? Because you are grateful to where God has brought you from. It's gratitude, y'all. Why? I would exercise gratitude to my mother and father because you wouldn't be here without them, y'all. That's what compassion does. Compassion says, I am grateful that I am here, but I also know how to exercise balance and detach. That's all it is, y'all. Right? That's it. It says let go of the attachment, right? Embrace the freedom to be yourself and then exercise compassion with gratitude. All right? Somebody you're healing and it's beautiful energy, y'all. Somebody you are healing, literally. All right? It says heal past wounds to move forward. And that's what the healing work is about, y'all. You want to heal simply so you can move forward. You don't heal so you can stay in the situation. That's stupid, right? You don't want to heal and stay around people because all they do is continue to what? Rip the bandage off of the wound. If you stay around people and you are healing and they are refusing to do their own work, every time they get a chance, they're going to come around you, they're going to rip the band-aid off, and they're going to poke your wound and do like this. Right? All right, what is the final message? All right, the final message is harmony. Beautiful, y'all. Look at that family. What did I tell y'all? I could never make it up. I'm done. I got to go get dressed, y'all. Look, harmony is what you create. See this family, queens? Kings, this is your family. This is the family you create. And the family that you create is based in harmony, not chaos, not arguing, not fighting, and not low vibrational energy. The family that you're creating is based on harmony. That's it. That's all, y'all. Right? Cultivate harmonious relationships. All right, y'all. Have a blessed day. I got to get out of here. I will be, like I said, on TikTok later on this afternoon for afternoon tea. All right. We may go live. Oh, I forgot, y'all. Before everybody goes, 93 people. Go to Facebook. All right. Go to Facebook. Look for the Lady CPA. We will possibly go live. I got to see the setup, right, for this event this morning. But it is a panel, y'all, on caper and wealth building capital, right? Capital and wealth building. So if you want to know about capital, real estate, wealth building, all right, go follow me on Facebook under the Lady CPA because we may go live at the event this morning. All right, there will be high net worth realtors, high achieving realtors, and some other people on this panel this morning, y'all. So if you follow my Facebook under the Lady CPA, all right, then you will be able to catch that live. All right, y'all, Marky, make sure y'all put that announcement on Discord as well. And I'll let y'all know on Discord if it's going to happen. I just have to see their setup first to make sure that I am able to go live. And if I am, then I will be live on my Lady CPA Facebook because that is my business. And this is a business event. Y'all know this is my spiritual practice here. All right, so when I do spiritual stuff, I do it here. All right, but when I do my business stuff, I do it from my business pages. All right, so the Lady CPA on Facebook, we may go live there. All right, if not, I know we're going to record the event, and that will be recorded on my Lady Collective YouTube. All right, y'all got to follow my business YouTube as well. That's the Lady Collective. All right, and that is my business YouTube. Have a beautiful day, y'all. All right, have an amazing day. Happy Mother's Day for everyone. If I do not see you over the weekend, I know, like I said, I'll be on live, and I am going to do my Mother's Day live on TikTok, yo. I will be live on Sunday, 10:10 a.m. on TikTok for Soul Sunday Mother's Day edition. All right, have a beautiful day, y'all. Love and light, the Lady Empath, 1111.